The arena lights burned white-hot, washing the stone floor in sterile brilliance. Chains clinked as the human was dragged forward, barefoot, blood-streaked, spine straight. The crowd laughed. He was smaller than the warriors they were used to. No exoskeleton. No plasma blade. Just torn combat fabric clinging to a body carved with scars. At the royal balcony, Princess Zythera leaned forward, silver eyes sharp with amusement. "So this is humanity," she said, voice carrying through the translators. "You won't last." Laughter roared again. The human didn't look up. He had learned long ago that eye contact was optional when death was inevitable. Or so they thought. The announcer's voice thundered. Subject: Terran male. Designation unknown. Crime: unauthorized survival. A joke. Survival itself was illegal in the Dominion unless sanctioned. The gates opposite him slammed open. Out marched a Kral executioner, 3 meters tall, bone armor fused to muscle. 6 arms, each holding a weapon designed to tear apart armored tanks. The crowd rose to its feet. This was meant to be quick, entertaining, final. The executioner roared and charged. The human exhaled. Slow, measured. The chains fell away, not because they were unlocked, but because he flexed. Metal screamed. Links snapped. The crowd faltered. Princess Zythera frowned. The executioner swung. A blade meant to cleave vehicles tore through the air. The human stepped inside the arc. Too close. Impossible close. His elbow crushed the creature's central nerve cluster. Bone armor cracked. The executioner staggered. Silence rippled outward. The human moved again. No wasted motion, no hesitation. He grabbed one arm, twisted, redirected momentum. A weapon designed for massacre impaled its owner. The executioner collapsed in a heap of shattered armor and steaming blood. The arena froze. No cheers. No laughter. Just disbelief. The human stood still, chest rising evenly. Eyes finally lifting, not to the crowd, but to the royal balcony. To the princess. For the first time, Zythera felt something unfamiliar crawl up her spine. Fear. "This," she whispered, voice low. "That was luck." The human tilted his head slightly, studying her like a calculation already solved. "No," he said softly, translator catching every syllable. "This is what's left. After mercy." Alarms blared. Guards rushed the arena. Too late. High above, ancient war sensors, long dormant, began to wake. Because the Dominion had made a mistake older empires always made. They thought humanity sent soldiers. They had captured death instead.
They multiplied. Red light flooded the arena as containment shields slammed down too late. Elite guards poured in, 20 of them, each bred for war. Each armed with enough firepower to pacify cities. Princess Zythera stood now. "Do not kill him," she snapped. "I want him alive." The order hesitated through the command chain. That hesitation cost them everything. The first volley of plasma fire turned the air into a burning wall. The human moved through it. Not faster than light. Not magically immune. Just precise. He rolled, slid, used fallen bodies as cover before they hit the ground. A dead guard became a shield. A dropped rifle became a tool. A heartbeat became a lifetime. 3 guards fell before the others realized they were being hunted. "Contain him," someone shouted. They tried. Energy nets fired, he ducked one, jumped another. Ripped a third apart midair with a stolen blade. He didn't roar. Didn't taunt. He worked. Like someone who had done this too many times to count. In the control tower, Dominion tacticians stared at their screens in silence. "This doesn't match Terran combat doctrine," one muttered. Another shook their head. "This isn't a soldier." Princess Zythera's jaw tightened. "Then what is he?" Below, the human paused, just long enough to breathe. His eyes flicked upward, tracking cameras no one had told him about. He knew they were watching. "Listen carefully," he said, voice calm despite the chaos. "You keep sending bodies, or you send someone who can talk." The guards answered with more fire. Wrong choice. He hurled a charged power cell into their formation. The explosion ripped weapons from hands, armor from flesh. He closed the distance in the smoke, disabling, breaking, ending. Within minutes, the arena floor was littered with silence. The human stood alone. Again. Princess Zithara felt the room pressing in. Her confidence, so carefully constructed, was cracking. Identify yourself, she commanded. Name. Rank. Unit. The human looked up. I don't have a rank anymore, he said. You burn those away when you outlive your command. A pause. My name won't help you. She swallowed. Why? Because you don't need my name to know what I am. Ancient sensors across the palace chimed, recognition protocols. Awakening from forgotten wars. A technician whispered, pale. Princess. Terran Black Archive just responded. Zithara turned slowly. What does it say? The screen filled with a single designation. Old. Classified. Feared. SOL type extinction asset. Status, active. Her breath caught. In the arena, the human took a step forward. You wanted entertainment, he said quietly. Now you get consequences.
The palace went silent. Not the peaceful kind. The end of empires kind. Princess Zithara stared at the designation glowing on the screen. Sol-type extinction asset, and finally, understood why the Dominion's archives tried to erase humanity instead of studying it. You don't document extinction events. You survive them. Shut down the arena, she ordered. Lower the shields. Prepare negotiation protocols. Too late. The human was already walking. Each step echoed through the chamber, steady and unhurried, as if the palace itself had become a corridor he'd memorized long ago. Guards fell back without being told. Weapons lowered. No one wanted to be the next statistic in a forgotten war file. You're surrounded, Zithara said, forcing steel into her voice. He stopped 10 meters from the throne dais. No, he corrected. I'm inside. A tremor ran through the structure. Orbital sensors screamed as unknown. Signatures tore out of folded space above the capital world. Human ships. Old designs. Ugly designs. Built for one purpose only. To end things. A commander's voice cut through the chaos. Princess. Terran Fleet Broadcasting. No demands, no negotiation window. The human looked up, listening, not to the alarms, but to something else. Timing. They came faster than expected, he murmured. Guess I made a mess. Zithara's composure shattered. Call them off. We can compensate. Technology, systems, tribute. He finally met her eyes. You enslaved my species. You dissected our prisoners. You made survival a crime. Each word landed heavier than the last. There's no compensation for practice. Practice. That was the word that broke her. Why you? She whispered. Why send one human? A ghost of something crossed his face. Not pride. Not rage. Acceptance. You didn't capture a soldier, he said. You captured the answer humanity built after losing too many wars. The fleet fired. Not at the planet. At the Dominion's gates. Shipyards. Command relays. Surgical. Relentless. Civilization-level decapitation. The human turned away from the throne. By the time this ends, he said, your people will still be alive. That's mercy. He paused at the exit. But your empire won't be. As he disappeared into the smoke and falling lights, the princess collapsed into her throne, shaking. Across the galaxy, ancient powers received the same message, short, untranslate, unmistakable. Humanity has stopped asking. And for the first time in recorded history, the stars remembered why humans were never meant to rule. They were meant to end things.